Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here in my channel, I speak about different topics, and if you're interested on hearing different topics every time I upload, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn that bell so you can be notified every time I upload. If you see, I'm in a different settings. I'm in my kitchen slash dining room area slash living room. I'm usually always in my room, but today I just wanted to try something new and try new lighting. I don't think this lighting is better. I hope it is. If y'all hear that, I'm making a piece in my oven. The apartments that I live, they have like old ovens and refrigerators, and yeah, so that's that. That is that. Yeah, I am in a new setting. Let me know how y'all like it. I may be doing this when I do upload. Who knows? It just depends on the mood that I am. And I also like to write a lot, so this may help me as well, just so I could be here for a little bit. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with these new case that we're speaking about. Give me a second, guys. Janelle, do you want to come here and be in the living room?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should plug in the
TV?
yeah. I mean, you're gonna watch YouTube anyways.
Well, I could just chill and then you like watch the TV.
No, because they're gonna know that I'm watching it. I can find you a movie to watch. Okay, guys, let me just let me finish this video. So today we're gonna be talking about hate crime. We're gonna talk about Brandon Teena. It's spelled Teena. So yeah. So Brandon was born on December 12th of 1972 in Lincoln, Nebraska to Joanna Brandon. His father died at a car accident in Lester County 8 months before he was born, and he was raised by his mother. Brandon and his older sister Tammy lived with their maternal grandmother in Lincoln before they were reclaimed by their mother when Brandon was 3 years old and Tammy was 6. The family resided in the Pine Acre Mobile Home Park in northeast Lincoln. Joanna received a disability checks and worked as a clerk in a woman's realty store in Lincoln to support the family. As young children, Teen and Tammy were sexually abused by their uncle for several years, and Brandon sought counseling for this in 1981. Joanna remarried in 1975, divorced in 1980. Brandon's family described him as being a tomboy since early childhood. Brandon began identifying as a male during his adolescent and dated a female student during his period. His mother reflected his male identity and continued referring to him as her daughter on several occasions. He claimed to be intersex. Teen and his sister attended St. Mary Elementary School and Plessy X High School in Lincoln, where some remember Teen as being social awkward during his second year. Teen rejected Christianity after his prostate to a priest regarding Christian views and obtains of homosexuality. He has also begun rebelling at school by violating the school dress code policy to dress in more masculine fashion. During the first semester of his senior year, a USA Army recruiter visited the high school and encouraged students to enlist in the armed force. Teen enlisted in the United States Army shortly after his 18th birthday and hoped to serve tour of duty in Operation Desert Shield. However, he failed the rating entrance exam by listing his sex as male. I don't get it. This is why I don't go to church. And I will give that my thoughts at the end of the video, like I always do in all my videos. In December 1990, Teen went to the Holiday Skate Park with his friends, bending his chest to pass as male. In the months nearing his high school graduation, Teen became unusual, outgoing, and was remembered by classmates as a class clown. Teen also began skipping school and receiving failing grades. He was expelled from Plus X High School, who names these schools, in June 1991, 3 days before graduation. In mid 1991, Teen began his first serious relationship with a girl named Heather. Shortly after, Teen secured an employment as a gas station attendant and attempted to secure funds to purchase a trailer home for himself and his girlfriend. However, his mother disapproved of the relationship and convincing her daughter Timmy to follow Teen to determine whether Teen's relationship with Heather was plain or sexual. And on January of 1982, Teen underwent a psychiatric evaluation, which included that Teen had a severe sexually identified crisis. He was later taken to the Lancaster County Crisis Center to ensure that he was not suicidal. He was released from the center 3 days later and began attending therapy sessions, sometimes accompanied by his mother or sister. He was relocated to discuss his sexuality during these sessions, but revealed he had been raped. The section ended after 2 weeks. In 1993, after some legal trouble, Teen moved to Falls City region of Richness County, Nebraska, where he presented as a man. He became friends with several residents. After moving into the home of Lisa Lombard, Teen began dating Lombard's friend, 19-year-old Lana Tistel, and began associating with ex-convict John Lerator, born May 31st of 1971. Marvin Tom's Nissan, born October 22 of 1971. And on December 19th of 1993, Teen was arrested for forging checks. Tisel used money from her father to place Teen's bail because Teen was in the female section of jail. Tisel learned that he was transgender. When Tisel later questioned Teen about his gender, he told her he was a hermaphrodite pursuing a sex change operation, and they continued dating. A lawsuit regarding this film abduction, Boys Don't Cry, this was disputed by Tisel. Teen arrest was posted in the local paper under his birth name, and thereupon his circumstances learned that he was signed female at birth. During a Christmas Eve party, okay, so if y'all have not seen my videos, especially my hate crimes video, this one is gonna, especially because of who this person is. Give me 1 second, guys. I know y'all don't see me, but I know y'all can hear me. I'm turning off. Janelle, get off of that. Look where you're laying now. Look at behind you. No, look behind you where you plug your stuff. You're not supposed to lay there. You want to catch your hair on fire. See, guys, I'm real. I don't do all that editing. You see what you see, you get what you get. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Anyways, I'm about to. We're gonna do the rape and the murder of what happened. So it's just a warning. During a Christmas Eve party, Nisa and Lauder grabbed Teen and forced him to remove his pants, proving to Tisel that Teen had a valuable. Tisel looked only when forced to and said nothing. Lauder and Nisa later assaulted Teen and forced him into the car. They drove to an area by a meat parking plant in Richmond County, where they assaulted and gang raped him. They then turned to Nisa's home, where Teen was ordered to take a shower. Teen escaped from Nisa's bathroom by climbing out of the window and going to Tisel's house. He was convinced by Tisel to file a police report, though Nisa and Laura had warned Teen to keep her mouth shut, or they permanently shut it for her. Teen also went to the emergency room, where a standard rape kit was assembled but later lost. How do you lose a rape kit? I don't know. Sheriff Charles B. Locke questioned Teen about the rape. Reportedly, he seemed especially interested in Teen's transgender status, to the point that Teen found his questions rude and unnecessary and refused to answer. Nisa and Lauder were taken for a police question. Despite ample evidence, Locke's neglect to the arrest and charge Nisa and Lauder, and Lex told them both a rape had been reported. Locke declined to have them arrested because what kind of person was she? The first few times we arrest her, she was putting herself as of a guy. Teen's mother later filed a wrongful death suit where the Nebraska Supreme Court found Locke's indication resulted in Teen's death. Around 1 a.m. on December 31st of 1993, Nisa and Lauder drove to Lambert's house and broke in. They found Lambert in bed and demanded to know where Tisa was. Later refused to tell them Nisa's search and found Teen hiding under a blanket at the foot of the bed. This man asked Lambert if there was anyone else in the house, and she replied that Phil Devine, who at the time was dating Tisa's sister, was staying with her. They do then shot Teen in the stomach. Nissan testified in court he had noticed that Teen was twitching and asked Lauder for a knife, which Nissan stabbed Teen in the chest to ensure that he was dead. Nissan later testified that he shot Lambert in the stomach after leaving the room to find Devine, and then running with him, Nissan shot Lambert a second time. The two men then took Devine into the living room, set him on the couch and shot him twice. Nissan then returned to the bedroom where he shot Lambert a few more times. The two men then left, threw their weapons and gloves into Frozen River, and returned to Falls City. They were arrested that afternoon, after which Nissan told deputies that he had witnessed John Lauder shot 3 people to death, and Harbor police went to the river where they retrieved the gloves and weapons, including the knife snatched marked with Lauder's name, tying them to the crime. I love when people are stupid. Teens is buried in Lincoln Memorial Cemetery in Lincoln, Nebraska. His headstone is incredible, with his deemed name and the epic daughter, sister, and friend. Nisa accused Lauder of committing the murders in exchange for reduced sentence. Nisa admitted to being an accessory to the rape and murder. Nisa testified against Lauder and was sentenced to life in prison. It's always like that. Like you and your friend commit a murder, and then when y'all get caught, y'all turn on each other. Like, that to me is insane. Lauder denied the city of Nisa's testimony, and his testimony was just created. The jury found Lauder guilty of murder and sentenced him to death. Lauder and Nissan both appealed their convictions in September 2007. Nissan resented his testimony against Lauder. He claimed that he was the only one to shoot Teen and that Lauder had not committed the murders. And in 2009, Lauder appealed using Nissan's new testimony to assess the claim of innocence was rejected by the Nebraska Supreme Court, which held that since even under Nissan's received testimony, both Lauder and Nissan were involved in the murder, the specific identity of the shooter was allegedly irrelevant. And on August 2011, a 3-judge panel of the English U.S. Circuit Court Appeals rejected John Lauder's appeal in a split decision. So basically what they're saying is, you may have not done the shooting yourself and committed the murder yourself, but you were there, you didn't do anything to stop it, so you are accessory to murder. So no, go back to prison. No, decline. On October 2011, the 8th Circuit rejected Lauder's request for rehearing by panel of the full 8-court en banc. Lauder next petitioned Supreme Court of the United States for a review of his case. The Supreme Court declined to review Lauder's case, denying his petition for written of the circuit in March 19 in 2012. In a further petition for rehearing on April 23, 2012, leaving his conviction should stand. And on January 22, 2018, Lauder was denied a third appeal by the Supreme Court. Because Teen had neither commenced hormone replacement therapy nor had gender confirmation surgery, he has sometimes mistakenly been defined as a lesbian by media reports. However, some reports Teen's plans to have sex reassignment surgery. Following Lauder's sentencing in February of 1996, Saturday Night Live aired a segment in which comedian North McCullen joked. And finally, in Falls City, Nebraska, John Lauder had been sentenced to death for attempting to kill 3 people, and the prosecutor called a plot to silence a cross-dressing female who had accused him of rape. Now, this may strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in the story should die. I don't see the funny part. I don't see that's funny, and how Saturday Night Live even allowed that, because that's not funny. The comments were met with sharp criticism from trans and queer communities, an organization including the Transgender Messer, who threatened to pickle SNL in the absence of an apology. Upon reviewing the show, NBC agreed the lines was inappropriate and should not have aired, and said it would ensure that similar accidents would not happen in the future. John and Brandon sued Richardson County and Sheriff's Locks for failing to prevent teens' death and being in dedicated causes. She won the case, which was heard on September of 1999 in Falls City, and was awarded $80,000. District Court George over Cody reduced the amount by 85% based on responsibility of Nisa and Lauro Indy, and by 1% for Brandon's alleged contribute negligence. These led to a remaining judgment of responsibility against Richmond's Corning County and Locks, and in 2001, the Nebraska Supreme Court reserved the restitution of the earlier award, restating the full and award for mental suffering plus funeral costs. And in October of 2001, the same judge awarded plaintiff additional for wrongful death and for the extenuation and infliction of emotional distress. Locks was also criticized after the murder for his attitude towards teen. At one point, Locks referred to Brandon as "it" after the case was over. Locks served as a community center of Richmond County, later as part of his community counseling, before retaining as a school bus driver. He refused to speak about his action in the case and called on one reporter who contacted him for a story on the murder 20th anniversary and pain in the ass. And in 1999, teens became the subject of a biographical film entitled Boys Don't Cry, directed by Kimberly Pierce and starring Harley Strank as Teen and Chloe Sergey as Tistel. For the performance, Shock won an Deservingly Award nominated for Academy Award. Tistel sued the film's producers for unauthorized use of her name and likeness before the film release. She claimed that the film depicted her as lazy white trash and skinkly snake. Tistel also claimed that the film falsely portrayed that she continued the relationship with Teen after discovering that he was transgender. She eventually settled her lawsuit against the movie director for an unclosed sum. John and Brandon publicly object to the media referring to her as a child. He and Brandon, following Haley Squad Oscar attempted speech, John Brandon took offense of SWAT for thinking Brandon teen and referring to him as a man. That sent me off, said John Brandon. She should not stand up there and thank my child. I get tired of people taking credit for what they don't know. However, in 2013, John Ann told a reporter that she accepts Teen being referred to as just transgender in the media. Although she was unhappy with how Boys Don't Cry portrayed the situation, she said about the film, "It gave me, the gay and transgender advocates, a platform to voice their opinions, and I'm glad that there were a lot of people who didn't understand what it was and Teen was going through. We've come a long way." When asked how the murder affects her life today, John replied, "I wonder how my life would be different if she was still with me. She would be such a joy to have around. She was always such a happy kid. I imagine her being happy adult and being happy teen, living as a man. I would be fine with that." Brandon interactive web art created in 1998 by Sue Lee Chang was named for Brandon's teen. The artwork was commissioned by the Salem Art Gallery Museum. Much of the site is content related to Brandon's story. So that is it, guys. That is the case of this wonderful person who just wanted to be accepted by people and be loved by people, and of who he was. Even though she was born a female, she felt to be a male, and it just sucks that people cannot accept that, and it sucks that people cannot understand that. You know what I mean? It's just, this is the reason why I will never understand. You could be transgender, you could be gay, you could be whatever you want, and I will be here for you, and I will support you. I'm not gonna judge you, guys. Sorry. That's why I stopped going to church. Because I do not. How is it that you judge someone Monday through Saturday, wake up Sunday and go to church and praise God, leave church and like continue being the same person? Christian people are so judgmental, so two-faced. They just don't. They think they know everything. They always want to say, "Well, God this, God that." You don't know God. You don't know God. God created us different. Imagine God creating us equal. This life, this world would be so boring. I'm gonna like boring as it could be. It would be boring. And it would just suck. God made us different for a reason. When God made us and God carried us, because I feel like God carried all of us at some point. When He made us and He carried us, He told us He knew what we were going to do. He knew who we were going to come. God knows everything that's going to happen in our life before we know what's going to happen in our lives. I always say that our lives is a book, and our books is different. Our chapters is different. And that's one thing that I've always told myself, and that I'm planning to tell my daughter, and that I'm planning to tell to my future children. Child, because I just want one more. But your book is your book. And from the day you're born, that's when your book starts to start coming together. You write your book. My book is not the same as my daughter's book is gonna be. When I had my daughter in 2016, the day she was born, that was my chapter from my book, but also that was her chapter for her book. We're in 2024. I'm 37 years old, and I'm in chapter 2025. Why did I say 2024? I don't know. 2025. My daughter is 8 years old, and her book is in chapter 2025. Her book is different than mine. My book, it's I had to leave people behind in 2024, and there's people that are gonna come back in my life in 2025. And my daughter's book, she's about to she's in 3rd grade, about to go to 4th grade. She has new classmates, she has new friends, she has new teachers, and it's just, our lives is a book. But because your book is not the same as the next door neighbor, does not mean that it gives you the right to criticize or humiliate anybody, if that makes any sense. Write your book, enjoy your book, and do not judge. Do not judge, because you never know what people may be going through. Because at the end of the day, the only person that should judge is God. And if you're not God, you don't have the right to judge. He does, you don't. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. I will see you again tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow with the new a new story. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And I hope y'all be careful out there. Stay safe. Bye.